Hey everyone, it is William here from the UpViral team, and today I am joined with Nick, who's currently in Amsterdam, and he's a bit boomed because the snowboarding season has ended because he's a co-founder of Montem agency. He's had a tremendous success with UpViral, which he's going to share everything about it during this interview. But he's also a professional snowboarder who lives like half of the year, right, in Austria, in the Alps, where he's snowboarding whenever he's not working. And yeah, and now he's a little bit down because he just came back from the snowboarding season that has ended, and he's now in Amsterdam. Nick, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us.
Doing good, man. And yeah, as you say, a little bit bummed about the snowboard season being over, but I mean, the surf is coming in soon, so yeah, we got another thing to do. But yeah, spending some time in Amsterdam is also nice. But yeah, I hope that it's gonna be a good summer down here. Doing good. Thanks for the intro.
Cool, cool. No worries. So you're a professional surfer as well?
Well, actually, I'm not a professional snowboarder. Snowboarding is definitely just a hobby for me. If something, I'm a professional crasher because I crash really hard most of the time when I go snowboarding. But surfing is just something I started dabbling into last summer.
Okay.
One of my partners in the agency, he's a big surfer. He's living in South Africa and he loves surfing and he always kept on going about surfing. So I figured out I had to give it a try. So went Portugal last summer, did a little bit of surfing there, and yeah, I got hooked. It's just the board sports in general which really attract me. So
yeah. So when you're snowboarding, like, do you do tricks? Do you do backflips, 360s? I'm not sure how you call them in snowboarding.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
Okay.
when I was younger,
Then you are a professional snowboarder, right?
I mean, yeah, it's what you call professional, but yeah, no, I do some tricks. I was doing them more when I was younger. Nowadays, I enjoy going off piste a lot more because yeah, that's really what it's all about. Yeah, no, definitely doing some 360s, doing some 540s, hitting some rails. That's what I like to do, basically.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Cool. So let's dive into things. So Nick, you're the co-founder of Montem Agency, and you've had tremendous success with an UpViral campaign for an e-commerce business that you're working with.
Yeah.
But before we dive into the actual, like, the nitty-gritty and all the stats and the numbers, can you first give us an overview about your business? Can you give us an overview of Montem Agency?
Yeah, for sure. So Montem Agency is an e-commerce agency where we're focused on e-com growth. And we started the agency 1.5 years ago. We've been in e-com for 5 years by now. But really, that was when we were still employed, basically, and also doing some own projects. And then after a while, we figured out that we really wanted to grow quicker than the brands we were working for allowed us to do. So that ended up opening up an agency together with 2 other partners. And yeah, we're really about action sports because that's what we live for, basically. All of the founders in the agencies, they are into either snowboarding or surfing. And also the brands we're working for is mainly based in the action sports. Like, we also do some fashion brands, but action sports is our bread and butter. So yeah, that's what we do. And yeah, basically we have a completely remote based agency. So we work with people from Denmark, from South Africa, from Amsterdam, and from Portugal. So we're based all around, and yeah, we try to promote kind of the lifestyle we like to live as well, you know. So like being able to surf when the surf is out and when it's good surf, or being able to snowboard when there's a big dump of fresh snow and you need to go out. So we try to kind of base our guidelines at the agency around that. So
yeah, well, you find a very smart way of combining like your career with your passions, right? Like, you're all into snowboarding and surfing, and now you started an agency that is focused on those niches. So you're surrounded every day, you know, with the things that you love, things that you're passionate about. So that's awesome.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. And yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was that always been my goal, to be able to do something like that, and took a few years to get there, but it's going the right direction. So
definitely. Cool. And so what made you use UpViral for your client?
Yeah, so funnily enough, that was actually for a project back in the days, which was not ecom based. So that was a service-based business, and there we were really flexible with what we could do. So we're testing with master classes, we're testing with webinars, we're testing with video sales letters, all different sorts. Right now, we're not really focused on that anymore, but that's when I came across with UpViral. So we started a test with them and got some decent results and got used to the software a little bit, and figured out it was also a good thing to do for e-commerce, because we were able to gather a lot of leads with it. And we were doing other things already to gather leads, but then we started UpViral with our first brand back in the days. I believe it was Rome Snowboards, and that blew us away, basically, because we really gathered a lot of leads in a short period of time. We also saw the social sharing getting new people in. So that's when we were like, okay, well, we got something here. So that's when we started trying it for the other brands as well, and saw similar results. So now it's just basically a standard campaign we run for each of the brands we work with.
Yeah. So we were talking off camera the other day that you basically use UpViral with pretty much every single client in your agency, right?
Yep. Yeah. Basically, I think there's 2 clients which we haven't used it yet because they're pretty new clients, but all of the clients which has been with us for a longer time, we've tested UpViral and got good results with it. So
cool. And then the campaign that we're going to be focusing on today was for a client that they are called Battalion, right?
Yeah, Battalion Snowboards.
Yeah. Can you give us a bit of an overview about Battalion?
Yeah, sure thing. So Battalion Snowboards is founded, I think, 20 years ago by now. So it's been a brand which has been around for a long time. And the owners of the brand, they are based in Amsterdam. That's also one of the reasons I'm in Amsterdam right now. And they are really, I would say, an innovative snowboard brand, because they're really focusing on 3D snowboards. So and that's called triple base technology, which is a patented technology, which is making them stand out. And basically, in a nutshell, it's like rather than just having a completely flat base, the base of Battalion Snowboard is rounded up, so it's 3D, and that allows for some really cool things which most of the other snowboard brands are not able to do. So I would say they are the leaders in 3D snowboard technology, and they're a pretty futuristic brand in the snowboarding industry. So that is I would say a brief background of the brand. I mean, there's much more to it, but I think that's in the core where they stand for. It's the 3D snowboards and really making them stand out. And also using futuristic designs in their snowboards, and much more.
Yeah. All right. Cool. 3D snowboard technology. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is. Cool. And so what was your end goal of using UpViral with Battalion? What did you want to achieve?
I would say the main goal was 2 things. I mean, the first thing is quite obvious, is gathering a lot of email signups, because that's what we're really using the tool for. but we're also using it to create engagement around certain products. This time, what we gave away is a Gimbal God snowboard, which we'll get to later. But we used it to gather engagement around this product, basically. So it's a combination of engaging our current list and giving something back to the existing community, but also gathering a lot of new signups, which we can email throughout the season and also over the next few seasons.
Yeah. Okay. And before using UpViral to gather more leads, did you already did you do any other strategies for Battalion to try to grow their email list?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we were already, I mean, obviously getting email signups on the website. We have one little trick which I won't go into that now because you cannot play all your cards open, of course. We were using Facebook lead ads, which is, I think, a quite obvious one, which we also saw great results with. And also we're having a pro-form program, which means that if you are working in the snowboarding industry, you can join a program and get a discount. So if you, let's say, if you're a snowboard instructor or you work on the mountain, you can join that program and buy the gear for a discounted price. And this has also been a great way to gather leads for us.
All right. So you use UpViral in combination with other strategies, Facebook ads, website signups, etc. All right. So Nick, you were telling us that you've done this campaign for Battalion and it was a sweepstake campaign. So tell us more about the campaign specifics. So for how many days or for how many weeks did you run this campaign?
So we run it for a quite short period of time. We run it for 14 days to keep the engagement really high on the campaign. And it was also around a specific product that we released a few weeks before doing the giveaway, which is basically a collab product between Gimbal God, who is like a big filmer in the snowboard industry, and who has a reasonable YouTube channel where he posts a lot of content. And together with Gimbal God Battalion designed a collab snowboard and bindings, basically. So after we launched the product, we basically launched the Gimbal God campaign, the Gimbal God UpViral campaign, which lasted for 2 weeks. And yeah, as you say, it was a sweepstakes. So basically signed up with your email address to be able to get a chance to win the Gimbal God setup, which was like the board and the bindings. And we were running that in the 3 different regions because due to how our warehouses are, we are basically having 3 different shops. So we run it all on Shopify, but we have a shop in US, in Europe, and in Canada. And we figured it would be good to do a giveaway for each of the regions. So yeah, that is in essential like the structure of the campaign, I would say.
Okay, cool. So now we're going to talk more specifically about the results that your campaign generated. I'm going to share my screen here. There we go. Desktop number 2, sharing. And one of the things that you mentioned is that you had set up like 3 different campaigns that I guess they were running simultaneously, right?
Correct. Yeah, they were running all at the same time.
Okay. And what is the reason that 3 campaigns were set up? Is that because of logistics you mentioned?
Yeah, so that is because that is in core essence the reason. So basically we also have 3 different email accounts. So rather than just having one email account for all of the regions, we have one account for each of the regions. We also have a pixel for each of the regions. So because of that, basically our marketing efforts are split up in 3. And to not clutter our email list with people from the wrong region, we decided that it would be better to split it up for each region specifically, and also to target each region specifically, so that I could directly export like the European signups and import them into our European lists rather than having to do that after the campaign was run.
Yeah. So here essentially, like we see, so 3 different campaigns, Battalion with Gimbal God, that's for Canada, 10,000 visitors, 4,200 leads. Then in Europe, you did the same campaign with 28,500 visitors, 11,000 leads. And then also in the US with 34,000 visitors, that translated into 15,600 leads. Here we have also like the stats for the country specifically. So this is the campaign for the US. So we see that from the 12,744 were direct leads and 2,880 were referred leads, which brings it to a total of 15,600.
Yeah.
That is for the US. Then we see for Canada, opening it up as we speak. There we go. Canada was a smaller campaign. Is there any specific reason for that? Did you have less budget for Canada? Was the focus not as much in Canada? Or do people not snowboard in Canada? Which I'm sure is not the reason.
No, people definitely snowboard in Canada. So Canada is for us a little bit of a smaller market. We see that the market in general is smaller, or at least for us. So because of that, also we had a smaller budget for Canada, and also our existing email list in Canada is a lot smaller compared to the US one. And yeah, we use an email campaign to our existing lists to kick off the UpViral, and also in the urgency phase we send another email to our existing list, which also massively affects the results of how many signups we gather. So basically it's a combination of a smaller budget and a smaller list, which we can use for to gather signups. Yeah,
makes sense. And then this was a campaign for Europe with 7,400 direct leads and 3,556 referred leads. I think I didn't run the numbers, but from the top of my head, I think the one in Europe has the best referral ratio, right?
I cannot say that from the top of my mind either, I must say.
Yeah, because that's 3,500 out of 7,400. In Canada, it was 3,000 direct, 1,000 referred. And going back to the US now, so Europe is providing you with the best referral ratio, apparently. Because I imagine the campaign setup was exactly the same, like the landing page, the share page, social share message, everything was exactly the same, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, then it's interesting to see that more shares were going on in Europe compared to Canada or the US. Now, I stole this screenshot, Nick, from the presentation that you basically did for your client to present the results afterwards. Can you walk us through this? Can you walk us through the key performance indicators of the campaign?
Yeah, sure. So what we did here was just sum up all the numbers, because as you could see in the overview, you couldn't directly see the total amount of leads, the new leads, etc. So what we did was we just added them up for each of the campaigns, and as you can see, we gathered about 31K of total leads. Then also to what for us is interesting to see, because we're also sending out email campaign to the existing leads, is how many of the people who signed up are actually new to the list. So to be able to do that, we created a segment in the email program where we run a definition to make sure that that it's not that the people haven't been on our email list before. And then we have that run over the complete list of the total leads we signed up, we gathered during the giveaway, and that showed us that out of the 31K total leads, a little bit more than 21K were actually people who were completely new to the brand. So You can also see the referred leads. I mean, that's just simply added up the total referred leads. We spent a little bit less than 3.5K on ads, which was solely spent on meta ads. That's where we by far see the best results with. We did test in the past with also running some ads on Google, on YouTube to gather leads, but we really see that for us, Meta is the one platform where we really see the best cost per lead and the best results.
So
and
Facebook and Instagram ads.
Yeah, correct. Facebook and Instagram ads, exactly. Then you can also see the new lead value. Yeah, we're a European-based company, so we report in euros. Yeah, basically, this has to be explained because this is the lead value which was gathered over the new leads. So what I did an export at the end of the season to see how much of the leads actually converted into customers. And what we saw is that after the snowboard season was over, out of the new leads, yeah, about 29K actually was gathered from these new leads. So this is
from
only
the new leads that were gathered through the UpViral campaign, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So this is not the existing leads. So you can see like the gap between the total leads and the new leads. This is not covered in the new lead value. This is solely the new leads which we gathered during this campaign.
Yeah, yeah. And so did this campaign run at the start of the snowboarding season? Or when did you launch the campaign?
So because the product was released a little bit later throughout the season, so the product was actually only released I think in what was it, mid-January from the top of my mind.
Okay.
We only started the UpViral campaign on the 31st of January, which is actually already quite far in the snowboard season. So because what we see is that like basically starting from October on until I would say until the end of January, that's really when the snowboard season peaks. And after January, we can see that like the sales are going down basically because it's a very seasonal thing. So people buy their snowboards at the beginning of the season. So no, actually this campaign was really run, I would say, mid-season, even a little bit more towards the end of the season, which was because of the product dropping a little bit later. So this also means that, I would say that a lot of the new leads, they were simply not like ready to buy a new snowboard yet. There's a big chance that these people will still convert at the beginning of next season or through the next few seasons, because that's also what we see with selling snowboards. It's it's a much longer funnel than like selling a low ticket item, because most of the snowboards we sell go for more than 500 euros. And because it's a high ticket item, people are really looking into it. You know, they're thinking about it for a long time. So there's a big chance that if we look at these new leads by the end of next season, that we even saw a bigger lead value from them, because it just simply takes a long time.
Yeah, they will keep buying snowboards, or people that didn't buy a snowboard will buy a snowboard for next season.
Exactly.
Definitely. And so, okay, so you did the campaign like 31st of January, you started it, it ran for 14 days until mid-February. And then when did you actually take this number? So was that like after 1 month of the campaign ending, 3 months after the campaign ending? When was it that you took the temperature and you looked into how much revenue was made from the UpViral leads?
So this was quite recent. Like the first report we sent out was just a brief report on the main numbers, and then at the end of the snowboard season, that's when we really reported on the revenue. So these numbers, they're quite recent. I think it was, let's say, beginning of April that we gathered these
Beginning of
numbers.
April.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's amazing. So essentially, like, you did the campaign 31st of January, you run it until the 14th. And then this is how much, like 28,951 is how much revenue you have generated in after like a couple of months of these leads being in the email database.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. That's also like one thing we did to basically engage these new leads and to warm them up in a sense is that we used email campaigns which we already sent out earlier in the season, which obviously these people haven't received before, and we reused these campaigns to send to those newly signed up leads. So basically we're recycling all their campaigns which we already sent out, and send that out to the new leads. So I would say it's an alternative of a welcome flow, because it's not really how our normal welcome flow works, but yeah, we basically used all their campaigns to really get these people engaged, and yeah, some of them converted already. So
that's a great return on investment, like epic. And the cost per lead, look at that, like 0.11 cents. That's amazing.
That one
Congrats,
remark.
man.
Thanks, man. One remark though is the cost per lead is a total cost per lead. So we have another slide which reports on the direct cost per lead in Meta itself, which is obviously a bit higher. But this is just the total cost per lead when looking at the total amount of leads we gathered and the total ad spend.
Yeah. All right. Epic. So now let's look into the campaign mechanics of itself. So this was the landing page. Can you walk us through the landing page? I was surprised that I have to say, like, it is quite simple, yet obviously based on the results, very effective. So can you walk us through it?
Yeah, sure thing. So what we've learned from the past campaigns we run is that for sign up pages, it's really like essential to keep it straightforward, to keep it simple. Don't distract people with a lot of copy. Don't distract people with a lot of design elements. Just have like it straight to the point, you know. And as you can see, if you land on this page, I mean, you see the price, you see the timer, you see the sign up form, and a little, like, you know, little explanation of what it is, but not much more than that. So yeah, that's just a very simple page which was designed, which I have to give some credits to the design team of Battalion for sure, because that's done by Battalion in-house, but we're guiding the process so that they're compliant to UX best practices, like making sure that the above the fold is designed right, making sure that there's a timer showing up. Another thing which we learned from the past is that we want to have a sign up form rather than a pop-up, so that people can sign up straight from the page. But yeah, in essential, it's very simple, not cluttering it with too much information. And we use the 3D render of the snowboard to make the board pop out a little bit more. And also we made sure that it's that you can sign up straight away once it's loading on desktop and also on mobile, because we saw that as soon as that is not there, so if people cannot sign up on the above the fold page, then we can really see the conversion rate drop on these pages.
Yeah. And one of the observations that I made as well is that I'm sure that you've attracted, and that is one of the reasons why the leads have translated into great revenue. And that is that the copy really speaks to snowboarders. It makes sure that basically not people that are not really into snowboarding would not be signing up. And the reason why I say that is because when I read like the little line of text that there is on the page, right? Unless you're a snowboarder or unless you're into snowboarding, you're not really gonna get it. So win. So until there, we're good. Win. A GG times camel to snowboard with matching GG times Astro full wrap bindings in a size of your choice. Basically, what I got is win snowboard in a size of your choice. Everything else, I think.
Yes.
But
Yeah. So that's definitely some brand specific terms which are being used. So the GG. So as you say, that does definitely attracts people who are more engaged with the brand and who are into it. But yeah, GG stands for Gimbal God. Like I'm just gonna explain you really quickly what it means.
Gimbal God. Yeah.
So GG is Gimbal God. Then the Camel 2 is basically the model. It's the design is based on. So the Camel 2 is an existing snowboard model from Battalion, and it's been sold already for quite a long time. And it's like a successful snowboard shape which people really love. So it's basically his take on how that board should look like. So that's how the GGX Camel 2 is formulated. And then the Astro full wrap bindings, that is that's one of the bindings. Astro is simply a name for the bindings, and then full wrap is the technology. We have asim wrap bindings and full wrap bindings. Basically, full wrap means that there's more contact points in your bindings, and the asim wrap means that there's less contact points in your bindings, making them a little bit more floaty and surfy. So yeah, as you can hear, it's like brand specific jargon, and as you said, people who don't know, it's like, okay, are you speaking Chinese right there? So
for people who are into snowboarding, that's for sure. And then after people enter their name and email address on the landing page that we just saw, they would come to this page that says subscribe and share to increase your chances to win. Earn points by sharing your personal link with friends, right? And here people could grab their link and they could share it with other friends who are into snowboarding as well. You have 0 chances of winning the Gimbal God. Well, this says 0 chances because it's just a screenshot, but here it would allocate the points they have, right, automatically. You have X chances of winning Gimbal God times Camel 2, limited set. For every friend you refer, you get 1 additional chance to win. Share on Facebook, share on Messenger, email, WhatsApp, TikTok. Then you also have custom actions like subscribe to the Battalion YouTube channel, subscribe to Gimbal God's YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, visit the board page, and visit the bindings page. Cool. And again, the countdown timer.
Sorry, one little remark here. I think we actually used another sign up page. I think this is one of the variations which was in the account, but let me quickly double check if this is the one we actually ended up using in the campaign. Because basically we designed multiple pages and had some variations. And then we just picked the one which was standing out the most. But from the top of my mind, we ended up using another thank you page. But, well, actually, no, you're right. Sorry, my bad. This was actually the one which ended up being the winner. So this is this sign-up page we ended up using.
So you split tested different variations?
No, we didn't split test different variations. We just created multiple variations so that the design team had some different choices of like which was the one which they liked the most, but this actually ended up the one winning. So my bad, I wasn't 100% sure if this was the one, but I just double checked it, and you're actually right, this is the one we used. So basically to hook into what you were saying, we have some of the standard actions which you can see. I mean, share on Facebook, share on Messenger. So what we put the focus on, so what we give the most points for is sharing, because we really want to have the pages being shared, because if someone shares it on their Facebook page, if they share it on the Messenger, or if they share it on the email, I mean, that's really where the word of mouth is being created, and that's how we can up that referral rate. But we figured also, like, we can gamify the whole process. So why not take it one step further? So we also use it to grow our following on TikTok, to grow the subscribers on YouTube, also to grow the subscribers of the person we were working together with. So you could subscribe to his channel as well. And lastly, also creating some engagement to the product pages again. So visit the board page, visit the binding page. But as you can see, that's actually the least, it's the least rewarded step and action you could take. But it's also the simplest one because it's the one with the lowest barrier, I would say. Because I mean, sharing it with your friends definitely takes a bigger step. So that's why we're rewarding it also a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. And but still, like as you said, I think it's good to have it because it puts the person into the mindset of checking out the product, right, on your e-commerce shop. Then you can also, like, you have the Facebook pixel installed, so you can always use that in your retargeting audiences, etc. So it's definitely good to have them, like, putting them in the mindset of checking out the product in your e-commerce store and having them go to your website. So definitely good to add as well. In, like, if you had to boil it down to, like, maybe 2 or 3 things max, what do you think are the strongest points that made your campaign such a great success?
Sure thing. So one is the sign up page. That is like 100% crucial. That's what we've learned is really determining if it's working or not, because we did also do an UpViral giveaway for one of the other brands where we only gathered 5.6K signups, for example. And we compared that to another campaign we run, and where we really saw, like, the biggest difference was the sign up page, because the sign up page UX of that campaign was less well done than the ones which were converting a lot better, which is resulting in a much higher cost per lead. And like as said, meta advertising is where we really gather a lot of signups from, together with sharing it on organic pages, having it shared with ambassadors and everything. But what we really see is that if the sign up page is not converting well, we're also getting a much higher cost per lead on meta ads, which is really determining the success of the campaign. So I would say one is the sign up page. That is, in my opinion, the most crucial part. So we really make sure that this is on point. Then secondly, the creative was matching with the landing page. So the design of the creative, which they see in the meta ad, is lining up with this design. So, like, similar colors are being used, like a similar background is being used, and because it's matching up, like, that is it's simply converting better. So I think that is another important point for the winning of this campaign. And I would say the third thing is probably, I'm doubting between 2 things. I'm just gonna say them both. So
Go ahead.
I mean, it's working together with Gimbal God, who's a big big YouTuber, and he's a well-known person. So, you know, linking it up to a person who is very well known in the industry is definitely creating, like, good engagement, and it's also good for the social proof around the campaign. And then lastly is also effectively using our own email list, which we already have, and our own engagement, which we already have. So, you know, sending out an email campaign to our existing subscribers, which is resulting in a lot of social shares as well, and is also basically warming up the pixel, because basically what we do is we launch the campaign, we launch the Facebook ads, and then a couple of hours or even a day after the Facebook ads are already launched, we also send an email campaign to our existing list, which we see that as soon as that campaign is sent out, the Facebook pixel is optimized really quickly, because we see, like, okay, we're putting a lot of people who are already engaged and are really, like, our audience, we're putting them towards the page, which trains the pixel to know like, okay, this is the persons we're looking for. So we see that as soon as we send out the email campaign, the cost per lead is significantly decreasing, and that keeps like at a stable level over the campaign. And yeah, also using urgency at the end of the campaign, because that's just like we send a launch campaign to our existing lead, list, and then everyone who hasn't signed up yet, we also send an urgency campaign and be like, hey, this is the last chance to sign up.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, awesome. So you basically said, so the main takeaways, an optimized landing page that converts with a high conversion rate. The ads that you're using on Facebook and Instagram, make sure they have a lot of congruency from ad to landing page. Then the third thing you mentioned was urgency, right? And I'm missing one.
The ambassador we're using it with.
Oh yeah, the ambassador. So okay, so you've leveraged different traffic channels, right? You have Facebook and Instagram ads. You've also leveraged your existing email list. You've partnered with an ambassador to which has a significant YouTube following, so that he also sends traffic to the campaign. Is there any other traffic channel that you've leveraged?
Yeah, I mean, our own organic pages, that's I think so like our organic Instagram page, we did some stories about the giveaway going live, yeah, I think that's about it. Let me quickly think, is there anything else? No, I don't think. I think that's really the main channels we used, because yeah, also because it's a giveaway, we don't want to be too spammy, because yeah, people can receive a giveaway as like, if you push it too hard, as a spammy kind of thing. So we're a little bit cautious with really going all out on our organic channels. So we kept it easy actually, and just used some of our ambassadors and our organic pages and the things you said already.
Okay, excellent. And when it came to announcing the winner, how did you do that? Via email, or did you make like a live event of it?
So
you announced the winner.
No, we live event. That's a cool one. We didn't test with that one yet. I'm gonna keep that as a remark for myself. But no, what we did right now was we kept it easy. We used the winner picker from UpViral, and confirmed that the winner was actually eligible to win. Because they needed to be in the correct country, they needed to be older than 18. So we double checked if the winner was like eligible to win, and then we reached out to them directly to make sure that they can gather their prize. But besides that, we also send out an email campaign to everyone who entered the giveaway. Yeah, exactly. So that everyone know, like, okay, sorry, you didn't win. Where we also introduced the offer already. So basically we introduced the offer when we said, okay, sorry, you didn't win. And beside that, we also did some stories on social. So we just announced it on our Instagram story.
Yeah, let's talk about that post campaign that you did. So you sent out an email announcement. You said, sorry, you didn't win, but I know you did a flash sale, right, for 48 hours. Can you tell us more about that flash sale that you did to everyone who entered the campaign but didn't win?
Yeah, sure thing. So we did, as you say, a 48-hour flash sale, and that was around the product we gave away. That's also something we've learned from the past, is that you really want to center it around the main products you're selling. So we've centered it around the limited snowboard and binding pair we released, and then we decided to do a flash sale to promote this product even more. So we did, I think from the top of my mind, a 20% discount on buying the snowboard set, and that was released first with an email, and then one last urgency email following up on it, to make sure that they are aware that the flash sale is ending very soon. So yeah, that's just a little flash sale we did. In the past, we also run site-wide flash sales, which we did see was even more successful, because if they can really choose any of the products they like, they are much more likely to convert, because with snowboards, it's actually a quite specific thing. So if you're like, let's say you're more into riding freestyle in a park, and you want to do jumps and you want to do rails, then you're looking at a different snowboard than when you're more into like riding a piste, for example. So
Yeah.
because of that, when we center a flash sale around one specific product, overall we see like less big of an impact than when we do it site-wide. But yeah, still we saw reasonable results with this one, because with the people who already we were already signed up to our email list, so basically our existing leads, they resulted in 5.7k revenue, and then the newly signed up leads, they resulted in 3.2k revenue from this flash sale alone. Okay. So this is not what I was referring to earlier on, because what I was referring earlier on was that was actually the total value from the new leads after doing the full snowboard season. And there's also something to say there, because what we did to after the flash sale, because I mean the flash sale is just an easy tool to use, but of course once the flash sale is over, you don't just want to leave these people hanging. You want to stay top of the mind. And so what we did is we recycled some of our older email campaigns and sent them out to these newly signed up leads. So we basically used like older campaigns introducing different parts of our collections, and these were sent out throughout the season, and that's how we keep them engaged and converted some of the new leads basically throughout the season. Yep.
Awesome. So this basically what the sales from the flash sale go on top of what you shared earlier, which was 28,000, what you shared earlier, and then now you shared like an extra, like I think it was 5.7 you mentioned, and 3.2.
Yeah.
So which basically brings it down. So that's 28 plus let's call it like 9k. That would be like 37k, 37,000 in sales from this campaign, combining flash sale with what came afterwards. Is that right?
Yeah, I would say 34, because
34.
Because the two numbers I mentioned, one of them was existing leads, so that's going to be on top, which is the 5.7k. Okay. And then the new leads, that was 3k, but that was already included in the total value of the new leads we gathered. So so if we round it up, I would say it's about 35k in total, which we did from this campaign.
Awesome. All right, Nick. So with that, we're coming to an end of the interview, and I would like to ask you, like, in a few words, like, what would you say about UpViral?
In a few words, what would I have? Good one. So it's a great software to utilize to gather new leads, and to grow your brand. Like when used right, you can really leverage the sharing function and the gamification function of UpViral to trigger people, because that's also something I didn't touch base on yet, but we've also used the automatic emails within UpViral if someone actually signed up, so that they are being incentivized to share it more. And that's something which I really see is triggering people. Like, funnily enough, I was sitting next to a friend of mine who I asked to share the campaign, and I saw that he actually got that like email where it's like, hey, someone signed up using your link, and I saw his eyes blink a little bit, and I saw him getting like, getting dragged into the campaign. So I first-handly saw the power of UpViral there. So yeah, good software,
epic,
nice to use.
Awesome. And lastly, if people want to connect with Montem Agency, where can they check you out? Where can they get in contact?
We have a website, which is just a very simple landing page. We're too busy actually getting the work done to fully focus on building a slick-ass website. So that's just a very simple landing page. But beside that, yeah, you can connect me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or via email, which I'm sure you'll share with them.
Awesome. Yeah, we will link it in the case study. So with that, Nick, I want to thank you so much for your time, for sharing, for being an open book and sharing everything about your campaign here with us. I'm sure it's going to be a great inspiration for the UpViral community. And keep crushing it with UpViral so that we can bring you back for another case study. All right?
Thanks, William.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Nick.
Yo.
Cheers. Have a great day. Bye-bye.